we live. Waiting for Instagram to load up. All right, Instagram is ready. I gotta make sure I pay attention to Instagram because there be comments on Instagram.
All right, watch it.
Okay. All right, y'all ready? Let's get it. Yo, what's up, man? It's your boy Mikey T, and I'm here with my man Marquise. You're now tuned into another episode of the Blitz. You know, the fastest growing sports podcast in the land. Let me get some platforms. Yo, we made it to week 4, man, of the NFL. So I'm gonna pass it to my man Marquise, man, to see what we got going on this week.
So this week we had a very exciting week of football this week. But I'm gonna start off with that Baltimore and Buffalo game, which was Sunday Night Football.
Amazing game.
It was complete dominance and why I want to start there is because me and this guy both had Buffalo as our number 2 team in the league.
Facts.
And we had him, and I didn't have him. I had him as the worst chance of staying undefeated. He had him as his top choice of staying undefeated. But Baltimore destroyed Dallas in all phases of the game. Maybe we overestimated Buffalo with the lack of competition because you got to think about it. The first week, they was down 17-3, I believe it was, against Arizona. Right. And then had a comeback game, ended up scoring over 30 points. In my opinion, I know the offensive line didn't help, but I felt like Kyler Murray sold that game week 1. Arizona should have got that win. I thought Kyler was great in the first half. He was subpar in the second half. Then they beat Miami, what was a blowout on Thursday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, completely destroyed them. As we've seen, Miami barely beat Jacksonville with Tua week 1. And we all seen what Jacksonville is this year. They just got their first win last week, right?
Yeah.
Who did they beat?
No. They lost.
They lost again, 0-4, right?
They lost again. They 0-4. Hold on, let me make sure. Let me just double check that. But I'm not mistaken. They are 0-4.
Let's confirm because then we'd be giving out false information to the people.
Jacksonville lost last week to the Texans 24-20.
Okay, so they're 0-4. So, and then they blew them out. So it's like, did we really overestimate because of competition? Because we expected Jacksonville to be good. We thought Arizona was good. But see, like, I thought it was going to be a good game, Buffalo and Baltimore. But when I saw the Commanders blow out Arizona, I told my brother the Ravens are going to win by 10 plus. I told him go on FanDuel and put -10 in.
You hit that.
I said they're going to dominate them. You can, if anybody want fact check, you can ask him for the people that know who my brother is. I told him to go do that. And what the Ravens do, they dominated them, just like they dominated the 49ers last year. I mean, to me personally, it just shows the lack of offensive weapons. I don't really blame Josh Allen for that game. I feel like he didn't have much to work with. I think it's very challenging almost for any team in the NFL to ask them to go to the Baltimore Ravens and stop them. When you got Derrick Henry, once they get this thing going, already I feel like Lamar Jackson is the second best quarterback in the NFL, in my opinion. I don't think Josh Allen's better than him. I don't think Joe Burrow's better than him. I think he's worked with less offensively than all these guys in the league outside of Patrick Mahomes. Because I felt like for the last 2 years, Patrick won Super Bowls. He's been working with the same type of stuff Lamar has been working with since he's been in the league. Because all these guys, I feel like Patrick's working with are average guys. I think Rashee Rice was going to be solid. But that's my opinion. And I think Baltimore's about to go on a roll But I got a question. Did you think we overestimated Buffalo? That was my whole point of that.
I don't think we overestimated Buffalo. I think Buffalo is still a good team. Now, I mean, teams could lose any day. Um, I I think they just kind of got. I ain't gonna say they got caught by surprise, but maybe they went into this game a little too cocky, maybe feeling themselves a little too bit, and got hit in the mouth, thinking that the Ravens is only 1-2. Um, but we'll see. They're gonna see each other again.
So my question to you, I agree with that because I think Buffalo's going to win the division. Win the division because I'm not too sold on the Jets only because offensively, but I think they can definitely turn it around and they have a chance because I mean I'm just not a big component of not believing in Aaron Rodgers, but I don't know. The Jets have a chance. New England or Miami don't have a chance, but Buffalo definitely has a big chance of winning the division and seeing Baltimore again. So I agree with you with that. But offensively, they looked unstoppable. I mean, they scored 30 to 40 points the first 3 weeks of the season. So there wasn't no surprise that they only scored 10 points to you.
I mean, let's be honest. We know Baltimore for being a tough defensive team. So I'm not really surprised because Baltimore's always been known to be aggressive. So I mean, they smacked them in the mouth. They played tougher than them. You've seen it. You've seen it on the field. I mean, they just got outmatched this game. I'm not gonna hold it against them as much, but they should whatever. They should have played better.
So, because last week when we had this topic, you didn't have much faith in Baltimore because they were a below 500 team. Has your faith increased about them?
I mean, they look like they're starting to gel the last 2 weeks, but until they get in above 500, they're
But
still
they're
gonna be
five.
on my.
But
They
they're
500, yes, for sure. But until they get over 500, I wouldn't put them in my top 5 right now. Even though they're playing great football right now these last 2 weeks.
And beat two good teams back to back, and went toe to toe with the Super Bowl champions.
I mean, the Cowboys look like they're about to.
But I'm talking about. But let's go to the Super Bowl champions. They went toe to toe with them.
Still lost.
A loss is a loss. A loss is a loss.
Can't explain the Raiders loss.
That was a bad loss, which I totally agree with. Let's go to the next topic of this decision. We have 2 undefeated teams left. Last week we went into it with 5 undefeated teams. We had the Kansas City Chiefs, we had the Pittsburgh Steelers, we had the Buffalo Bills, we had the Seattle Seahawks, and we had the Minnesota Vikings. Seattle lost to Detroit. Pittsburgh lost to the Colts. A Joe Flacco coach, even though Anthony Richardson got them off to a 14-0 lead. I believe it was. I could be wrong. Joe Flacco might have got the 14th point. I thought it was Anthony Richardson. I thought they went down and scored twice in a row. All I know is the Colts went up big against them. And Seattle, I said Seattle lost to Detroit. Pittsburgh lost to the Colts. And Buffalo got destroyed by the Ravens, which we started to show off with. So now we have Kansas City and Minnesota sitting at the top. My question to you is, who do you think lasts longer?
I mean, my faith is always going to be in Patty Mahomes and them. First of all, I looked at both of these schedules because I knew we was going to talk about this. They both actually had very easy schedule this year. So I could actually see them going on a little run for a little while. At least 10 games apiece for both of them. I could see it because their schedules is not like brutally hard. Outside of division games for them, I'm going to say KC go the longest, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Vikings end up going longer than KC though.
I hear you. I feel like we got Kansas City. So they got the Saints this week. I don't know how we feel about the Saints after they lose to Atlanta. Because if we beat or we're in a close game with Tampa Bay, I think me and you both, we're going to get into Philadelphia. We're not going to dive too much into this, but I think me and you both have better feelings if we're at least in the game against Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
I think we'd have more respect for Atlanta. You understand what I'm saying? Atlanta just beat the Saints at the end of the game. So I don't know what to make the Saints because wasn't high on them coming into the season. If we go back to last year, I mean they were the Saints were a subpar team. They were a subpar team.
Facts. To me, they still subpar.
Yeah, they got the Saints Monday. I think Kansas City can win this game. Week 7, they play. The week 6, they're going to bye. Week 7, they come back and play San Fran.
Is San Fran going to be healthy?
I mean, that's a question to see.
Because y'all couldn't beat them full healthy. Whatever. So, I don't know if...
I mean, right now, constructed, no, I agree with you. I don't think Tampa Bay's an easy win like you think.
For who? For Minnesota?
Kansas City.
When they play Kansas City? Week
9.
Week 9.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna lie.
I'm saying, every game don't look.
Looking at this schedule, that schedule looks very easy.
Their schedule looks
as how I feel about Kansas City these days. I would go with Kansas. I would go with Kansas City staying undefeated longer than Minnesota. Only because of schedule, because I feel like the Kansas City Chiefs schedule was top-sided. Like their beginning of the schedule was harder.
Mm-hmm.
I do think the Chargers will beat them the next time they play. I believe in Jim Harbaugh. Devontae Adams is going to be off the Raiders. Offensively, I just don't think they can win without him there.
Oh, hold on. We gotta guess, man.
Oh. Hey, we got Cowboys Nicky in the house.
Hello.
Hey. We got real Cowboys. So we were starting off with we were on Kansas City and Minnesota. Who do you think lasts longer being undefeated?
Honestly, I would probably still go with KC just because they are actually treating them like Patriots now. You know,
Thanks.
like you can basically see like Mahomes and them are being treated like Tom Brady, like they did Tom Brady and the Patriots. And it's kind of like you can't win in KC, like you couldn't win in Foxborough when it was Brady, there.
Yeah.
Me honestly, I feel like Kansas City should really probably be 2-2. But I think like 2 games they helped them. Like let's say the Baltimore game and the Bengals game, they helped them in both of those games. Like they gave a late penalty on the Bengals to put them in field goal range to kick the ball and win the game. And that when you go back and look at it, it wasn't even a penalty. Like I was like, what are you doing? So I think I think they're gonna probably outlast a little bit longer than Minnesota. I must say I am surprised that Minnesota is even an undefeated team.
I think we're all there with that one.
Yeah,
for sure.
I didn't think Sam Darnold. I was like, but sometimes the change of scenery helps players.
Yeah, I agree with you with that. When you talk about Minnesota being undefeated, I didn't see that. I didn't see that one coming. But no. I expect the Sam Darnold to play big. I actually made a prediction. I was wrong last year. I said Sam Darnold would take the job from Brock Purdy. I thought Brock Purdy would either get injured again or cost San Francisco some games, which would give Sam Darnold a chance to take a starting spot, which I thought he would succeed in with just with all the weapons and I just feel like Kyle Shanahan makes, he it doesn't matter who plays quarterback. they're somewhat productive, and I thought Sam Darnold had the tools. Hand makes he be productive in a Kyle Shanahan offense. So that's why I thought that last year, but I did not see Minnesota being undefeated. I actually thought they would lose to Houston. Thought they would lose week 2 and week 3, and week 4 against Jordan Love, and that didn't happen. So I was wrong about that.
I mean,
Well,
I didn't expect them to lose to
I
Jordan Love.
honestly think, yeah, I honestly think that they should not have went to Jordan Love as soon as they did. I think they should have rolled it out with Malik one more week.
For
Um,
sure.
I honestly didn't think Jordan Love was ready to um come back. I thought he should have waited at least another week or so before he came back. Came back. Now the one with them losing to the Texans, that one totally caught me off guard. I didn't, and they didn't
That was
just
crazy.
they did look. Texas didn't just lose; they lost. Like they
Yeah.
actually beat them.
I thought.
So
I mean, I expected Texans to be like in the Baltimore, the Dallas Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles, the San Francisco 49ers. Did I say the Ravens?
Yeah.
But those teams, Kansas City, like I expect in Detroit Lions, like I expected them to be in that class of teams. Have been surprised with their lack of play, but we'll get to that later. Our next thing is Antonio Pierce likes to tweet about Devontae Adams being traded. We have really progressed in this thing. Where's the NFL rumor that we're down to 2 teams? We're down to the New York Jets, the New Orleans Saints. When we know that it's so many teams viable that need Devontae Adams. They need him as a player because, I mean, you're talking about a handful of teams that you don't replace Devontae Adams with your starting receiver. We'll talk about the Minnesotas, the Cincinnati Bengals, maybe the Philadelphia Eagles, maybe the Dallas Cowboys. But after that, you're like, no, only because CD is younger, a lot younger than Devontae, and you just paid him, which or why you'd be like, I'm keeping CD. CD can get better. But after you get outside of that, like, who isn't Devontae better than on your team as an offensive skill player? Maybe Miami with Tyreek Hill, but after that, it's like you give Devontae a good quarterback. Who doesn't he produce with? What's your thoughts about Antonio Pierce even liking the comment? And then what is your thought process about only 2 teams being in it, Mikey?
All right. So first, I'm gonna start with the comment. I think this is 2024. People accidentally hit the like button all the time. I think we too big on the social media shit nowadays. But yeah, I could see the optics of it. I mean, at the end of the day, Devontae Adams is 31 years old. He's ready to win. I mean, he shouldn't even have went to the Raiders if you want to keep it all the way honest. So, like, he should have never went there.
But let's keep the metrics in about him going to the Raiders. He was reuniting with Derek Carr.
but Derek Carr wasn't winning. He wasn't winning now.
Yeah, he definitely wasn't winning there.
I'm with you on that. I thought maybe Devontae thought he could change the scales of him going there. I thought when Derek Carr left, he should have bailed, personally.
Yeah.
But
I mean, all I'm gonna say is my best spot for him, if Devontae, if you really care about winning, KC is the only option for me. It's the only option. You gonna go over there and be the number 1 wide receiver automatically. Why go to Dallas and split reps with CD Lamb? Why go to the Jets? And to be honest, Aaron Rodgers ain't gonna be there that long. So you're gonna run in the same situation that you ran into in the Raiders. So I just feel like he should go to KC. That's my only thought for him.
Tamara?
I think I'm with him. When he decided he was gonna leave Green Bay and go to the Raiders, I didn't think that was a great move. I felt like that was gonna happen eventually because Carr wasn't producing for them what they wanted. And even with bringing Devontae Adams over there, Carr didn't give them exactly what they wanted with the quarterback and the wide receiver connection. So he should have never left Green Bay. But Dallas, I mean, even if we didn't have CD, we wouldn't get him. That's just what we don't do. And the Jets, I would say the Jets would be a good option for him, just because him and Rodgers does have that connection. But what I'm more afraid of if he goes to the Jets, like we don't really know what the behind the scene was with him and Rodgers, because it
True.
was a reason for him to even want
Leave.
to leave Green Bay to begin with. I think it was more to it than him just wanting to go play with Carr. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
For sure.
I don't know what the dynamics was with him and Aaron Rodgers, because Aaron Rodgers, we all know how he is. And Rodgers begged for your boy to go meet him, not Devontae Adams to go meet him.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So I don't know. So yeah, KC would probably be the more viable option because KC do need a wide receiver. But Baltimore need a wide receiver. Baltimore could use another wide receiver. They
Yeah.
they can use another wide receiver as well.
Yeah.
It's a few teams that can use another wide receiver, but the issue is that they don't have viable or liable quarterbacks. So KC would be your only option for as a better quarterback wise.
So when y'all talk about that fit, when you talk about fit, like who would need Devontae Adams' service today? Like today.
Well, KC
Start off with
needed him
I would start off
yesterday.
with the Kansas City Chiefs, obviously because Rice is hurt,
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood is hurt, and then we're talking
Mm-hmm.
about potentially seizing in the injuries. Mark Hollywood Brown is not available to maybe late December, mid January.
Mm-hmm.
That means if we're talking about mid January, we got to get through some things to even get to mid January. The Baltimore Ravens. I was actually talking to somebody today about it. I'm like, I don't know why the Baltimore Ravens ain't in it. I would automatically be on the phone trying to get dump Mark Andrews, a second round pick, and Rashard Bateman off today to get Devontae Adams in my building. Because just me watching the Ravens, because we live in Baltimore, so we see every Ravens game. It's on automatic TV. Zay Flowers is getting locked up this year. The defenses are preparing for him and planning for him. And now Lamar's the game is always going to be relying on the run. But we have to go to other options, the Likeleys, the Batemans. Bateman cost the Ravens the game against the Raiders when the ball went through his hands. The defender caught it. Interception. Raiders end up winning that game. The game is over. Bateman catches that ball. The Ravens could use him. I don't know if they want to get rid of all those assets, but they could use him. The Commanders definitely could use him. Like, I would hate for him to go to the NFC East, because when you talk about the top three teams in the NFC East, he automatically makes any of us better from Philly. Does anybody know? We're Eagles fans, and we got a Cowboy representative on the call. But he makes the Eagles better. He makes Dallas better. He makes Washington better. But the Commanders could use him today. I mean, he would make Scary Terry the best number 2 in the NFL.
I'm gonna just disagree. I don't think he makes the Eagles better. I think our problems ain't receiver.
Our problem is quarterback and coaching. But we're
literally,
not going to get into that. We're not going to
some other shit too. But we're gonna talk about that a little later.
But
And offense coordinator.
Devontae is better than Smith. He's better than Smitty. So when AJ Brown becomes your number 2 receiver, it's a different offense. AJ Brown is our number 1, clear without a doubt. But the two teams that they say that the decision is based off, I'm surprised Buffalo is not into this, because Buffalo should. I'm sorry that I even.
I was about to say
Buffalo
that.
wasn't number. Buffalo should have been 1 and 2. Kansas City,
They-
Buffalo should have been number 1 and 2, because
They definitely need a receiver.
They trying to win. Let's keep it above.
they're ready to win now. Josh Allen needs help. I said Josh Allen was MVP. I'm not gonna lie. After last week, even if he wills them to the playoffs and Lamar finds his way back into division lead and then winning the division, I think Lamar Jackson's MVP again. Because how easy Derrick Henry is going to make it for him. He's going to make football look effortless. That now they're learning how to incorporate him into the offense. Bro, you got to bring 9 to the box. and you're playing to stop Dirk. You're not playing to stop Lamar. Buffalo could use Devontae Adams' services like today.
Yeah.
And that's the worst decision for me because I'm not going to lie. I'm kind of a Josh Allen hater. He's great. Don't dispute it. He's top 3 quarterback in the league. I'm not coming at him for that. But he's the one quarterback I don't want to see win anything in the NFL. I'm a hater. Just, I'm be my biased person. I don't want to see him win until Lamar wins. Till Lamar wins, that'll be okay. Because if he wins before Lamar, they're going to try to put him above Lamar when we know he's not better than Lamar. Lamar has worked with this is Josh Allen second year in the league working with no weapons. Lamar's played his whole career except 1 year without weapons, in my opinion. So
Lamar threw 36 touchdowns.
Yeah, and
9 interceptions or some shit his second year.
Yeah, but think about it. Lamar's
3,800 yards.
I don't think Josh has been to an AFC Championship game yet. I could be wrong. I don't think he's been to one yet. We don't talk about him not being to an AFC Championship game.
I thought he was in one.
No, I don't think he was in the one because the 1 year they had the Kansas City and Buffalo had the shootout. That was before the AFC Championship game.
Right.
I don't think he's been to one, but he gets the credit. He they don't talk about it. But Lamar is like, oh, he can't win. It's like, but what has Josh really done in the postseason?
I mean, I think they had a great game. Though.
He had one great game in the playoffs. Other than that, nothing's been great in the postseason.
Well, that's the same, but that's exactly what they're saying about Lamar as well.
I mean, I'm about to say they say that about a bunch of quarterbacks.
About a bunch of quarterbacks.
No, but they don't
Dak Prescott, Lamar Jackson.
They don't say it about Josh. They don't say it about Josh.
National media definitely says it about Josh.
Joe Burrow has never been great in the postseason. Never. It's been their defense.
He only been to the postseason twice when he was healthy.
Listen to me. Yes, he's been to the Super Bowl. Yes, he's been to multiple AFC Championship games. But he has not had a performing moment where he's like, 300 yards, no interceptions, great game. We won because of me. No, he hasn't had that moment. Before you argue with me, I want you to go back and look at his playoff statistics. You'll have a different opinion about this when you look at it. I didn't know I was getting here this show, so I didn't look ahead them statistics written down. But you'll have a different opinion about what I just said. They win playoff games based off their defense. He's good in the moment. I don't dispute that. But what gets them to the moment is never him. And it's easy when you got 3 number 1 receivers.
Yeah,
I'm not
feeling that. I'm not feeling
It's easy when you got 3 number 1 receivers. I'm going to say that.
And he didn't always have 3 number 1 receivers when he went to the first AFC.
I don't dispute. I think he's an elite talent in the league, but I don't think he's better than Patrick Mahomes. I don't think he's better than Josh Allen, and I don't think he's better than Lamar Jackson. And I don't think he's better than Aaron Rodgers. If you want to put him 5, that's cool. I don't have a problem with that, but I don't think he's better than them top 4 guys.
Who are you speaking about? You speaking about Burris or are you speaking about Josh Allen?
Burrow. I don't think Burrow is better than Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, or Aaron.
My only gripe to the Patrick Mahomes one is Patrick Mahomes also plays for a Hall of Fame fucking coach.
That doesn't mean nothing.
Why doesn't it?
Listen to me, because we're Eagles fans. That Hall of Fame coach played with talent before him and never won the big game till he got him.
Because Donovan McNabb choked. Let's keep it a buck.
No,
he choked. He threw an interception at the worst moment. He threw up on the field at the start of the game. He wasn't ready.
I'm not gonna say that. He didn't just play with Donovan McNabb. He had Mike Vick too.
And Mike Vick got hurt. Mike Vick was never healthy. That was the pretty much the story of his career. He was amazing. We
lost to Green Bay the year we lost to Green Bay, and then Chip Kelly came in the next. No, that was Chip Kelly. I'm wrong. That wasn't Andy. I'm wrong. I'm gonna say the Andy year that we had Michael Vick was the dream team year. No, that was Chip Kelly. That was Chip Kelly with Jeremy Maclin, Deshaun Jackson, and then
that was Andy Reid's last year.
No,
that's Andy Reid's last year.
No, it wasn't. Go look it up. It's not. Look it up. He was not the head coach. Chip Kelly was. Chip Kelly was the head coach. But let's get on. I don't want to keep us there. Let's get on to our next subject, Rashee Rice.
Right.
Kansas City. So as we get into this, we thought we were leaving Sunday and we were going to get Monday that Rashee Rice had an ACL tear. It was potentially an ACL tear, but Kansas City hasn't spoke about it. Why do y'all think that Kansas City hasn't spoke out on their potential injury? Mikey T?
I'm not really too familiar on the Rashee Rice injury. He's not the player that Patrick Mahomes took his knee out. Now that was Xavier Worthy, right?
It is.
Oh, that was him. Okay. I'm not sure why they would hide it. I'm not familiar. I don't know. I can't answer that question for you right now. You got to pass that off for me.
Miss Nikki.
Oh, I don't know. But let me get back to my response on the Devontae Adams. Y'all forgot me to give my answer on that. The issue with Devontae Adams being moved as well is that the Raiders want a second round pick, and they also want the team to absorb the rest of his contract.
Yeah.
And the issue is that he is on a last year deal of this contract. Any team that gets him, you're gonna be fine. Probably a lot of teams are probably scaling back a little bit because he would only be considered a 1 year rental.
Hold up. I'm
And
real quick, Nikki. I think you're partially wrong. This year, he's not. Teams will be guaranteed. They're guaranteed to pay 13 or 15 million this year, rest of his money, but he's due, which are unguarantees. His last 2 years of his contract is 41 or 42 and 43. It's something like that. He does have 2 years on his deal left.
Okay.
Which is they're in the 40s.
Right.
Because of how they moved this contract around while he was a Raider, they're in the 40s, and which makes him almost like you have to make you. If you make a trade for Devontae Adams, automatically you have to be re-signing him because of the 42 and 41. Who wants a receiver at a quarterback rate? So you're right.
Yeah,
that's
part of the issue. Why they don't want, like, teams are kind of scaling back on it, and if it's kind of looking like you're a diva. So if you're a diva now because things are not going how you want it to go here, then you come here and somehow another things don't be what you want it to be. Just say give or take, whatever team you go to, things can happen. You can go to the Kansas City Chiefs thinking you're going to be playing with Patrick Mahomes the whole time. Anything can happen. What if? Are you going to do the same thing? See, Le'Veon Bell's the one started this in the league with these players not doing this. So now it has become a trend. You know, okay, we're just not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this. We're not gonna do this and that. What I thought was interesting that they put him on the injury report list. You know, this week.
You know what's funny about that whole situation? Antonio Pierce came out and said, "We got players out here making business decisions. We gonna make some business decisions." And then he likes that post. I'm not gonna call Devontae a diva because he could have been bailed on Oakland, the Vegas Raiders last year, when Derek Carr got moved out. And he played a full season with them. And I felt like he came in this year. He's like, look, I'm going to believe in your mission. And after 3 games, I'm like, you know what? It's time for me to go. It's some teams that could use my services. And it's time for me to go. I'm 31. My career is another 4 years in the NFL. I need to get somewhere where I'm playing winning football. And I felt like he tried to do it a different way and go into this is why I think he takes the Derek Carr situation, because I think he goes in a situation of trying to elevate the Raiders to a Super Bowl winning team. But then you find out it's more than just me.
Right.
So,
right. But do you honestly think he played because he wanted to?
For that. I would kill CD Lamb more for the fits you threw 2 weeks ago against Baltimore. Right. I would kill him more for diva stuff than I would kill Devontae Adams for how he's acting today.
But do you honestly feel like Devontae, that his mindset was, I'm gonna try to make this work? No, it's because he knew he didn't have the leverage at the time.
No, right? I disagree with that. He was the best. He was considered outside of Tyreek Hill the best receiver in football,
I
hands down.
mean, I think he makes any team a better team.
No, I'm not
He
disputing that. I'm talking about he had leverage financial wise going into it. I just think he felt like he had a great rapport with Derek Carr. He thought that Derek Carr was missing something in with the Raiders, and I think he thought he could replace that situation. And the Raiders actually went and got Chandler Jones. They had Max Crosby. They went and got pieces. Chandler Jones ended up having mental health issues. And there was other players that just didn't pan out. They had Darren Waller at tight end. Josh Jacobs was the running back. It's not that they didn't have talent. It's just that it didn't work. Maybe it was the coaching. You know what I mean?
definitely was coaching.
With John Gruden. Maybe John Gruden's not a good coach, which we know.
It wasn't
He
Gruden though. It was McDaniels, right?
I thought it was John Gruden with that super team that they had. I think it was John Gruden. Because Pierce replaced John Gruden, right?
No, McDaniels.
Yeah, McDaniels
No.
before John Gruden. I thought.
No, Pierce
I
No,
thought-
first.
you're right.
McDaniels.
You're right.
No, I thought Pierce
Hey,
replaced.
McDaniels took John Gruden's job,
Right, and
and
Pierce
then
replaced.
McDaniels got fired. McDaniels wasn't a good coach. That's
Right, because they think every coach that comes from they think every coach that comes from the Belichick tree
Facts.
is a good coach,
Facts.
and they're not. They think that every coach could just kind of like the Shanahan tree,
Yeah,
you know.
that Shanahan tree is looking great.
Right, the Shanahan tree is looking good with the defensive side of things and emotion.
Why
Yeah.
not? You got Minnesota. The
Mhm.
offensive coordinator comes from the Shanahan tree.
And you got Shanahan tree with the Saints,
You got the Rams.
the Rams,
The Rams. You have the Green Bay.
Shanahan tree. Yeah.
It's somebody else. It's somebody else in the NFL. It's 4 teams.
I know Houston on defense, but that's it.
Yeah, Houston is Shanahan tree.
Right.
But it's 4. In Miami. Miami's Shanahan tree.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Tua's hurt though, so we can't kill him for Tua's hurt. They would
Oh,
still
isn't Jets Shanahan
they wouldn't
tree
be a
too?
Super Bowl team, but they would be
Rob Sala.
Yeah.
Huh?
Isn't he a Shanahan tree?
Who?
Jets.
Rob Sala.
Jets
I
head
think I'm
coach.
saying
defensive
right.
coordinator. Yeah, I'm more so talking about the offense when we talk about the Shanahan tree when it comes from the offensive side, because these are defensive minds. They came from different systems. I don't think Shanahan tree actually creates a defense. I think they actually have great defensive players. More so, that's why like they went out and got a Raheem Morris, which got the job, ended up getting the job in Atlanta, something like that.
Right.
But my question to you is, what is your to get back on topic? What is your thought process of Kansas City? Not talking about Rashee Rice injury.
I think sometimes sometimes they don't have all the correct information that they want to put out there, and sometimes it could be an issue of they don't want to put too much information out there.
Yeah,
Okay.
but most teams, when somebody gets a significant injury, which has already been believed that he had an ACL injury because they were predicting that Sunday, and usually 10 times out of 10 times they predict that injury on Sunday football. What happens the next day? We talk about ACL injury. You got the coach that comes out and says the injury is bad. Andy Reid said that at halftime. And Kansas City has still not confirmed that it's an ACL injury. Is this for them to basically playing their trump cards of not saying that they're desperate for a receiver? To trick the NFL, and not to think that they're desperate, like they got Rice coming back?
Let me see.
Look,
It could be, they do things so different. They cover things up.
it's all a bigger play. Maybe it could be a bigger play for a wide receiver. If y'all see us stressing for a wide receiver, then y'all might try to charge us more than you regularly would.
Right.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of, but yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was strange that they didn't come out and say that Rasheed Rice had an ACL or whatever MCL whatever. I thought we were gonna wake up Monday morning and find out that he was severely injured and he wasn't come back, but it hasn't been confirmed yet. Kansas City Chiefs are in the market.
They put him
The
on
receivers
IR,
they put him on IR. Yeah, but IR is now 4 weeks.
right?
Uh, they have mentioned the potentially names Devontae Adams, which we know is out of the question now because of the money he's due. DeAndre Hopkins, which is going to be a problem because of the money that's due for D Hop for them to get him. Kadarius Toney, which is a potential answer. I don't think they signed Kadarius Toney. I don't think they want nothing else to do with Kadarius Toney. And the last one is Amari Cooper, which is the easiest deal to be made because he's due $2 million this year, and he's on the last contract year of his deal, which I think is a perfect match. I think that would be actually when you think an all in all, it fits what Kansas City's trying to do. Our next topic is we had a quarterback that was traded away and was asked. A coach believed that this quarterback wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl with. And this quarterback went to another team and revitalized his franchise. We're going to talk about Jared Goff and his perfect game, going 18 of 18, 292 yards and 2 TDs. How impressed are y'all with Jared Goff and what he's brought the Detroit Lions? Let's start with you, Mikey, too.
Well, first of all, I always like Jared Goff. I don't know why people don't give Jared Goff the credit that he's due. I mean, he's took 2 franchises to the Super Bowl at this point. Well, no. I'm sorry, not 2 franchises. I'm sorry, took two franchises, one to the Super Bowl, one to an NFC Championship game, and they ain't been to one in however long. I think Jared Goff has proven to be one of the top quarterbacks in this league again and again and again. He's made the Lions a very favorable team in NFC. So I mean, you gotta take your hats off to Jared Goff. I mean, out of everybody in that draft, he's the best one, and Carson Wentz is a backup.
Nikki.
Yeah, I've always liked Goff. I always felt like I always felt like he just wasn't given the chance that he needed when he was with the Rams. And again, that he shows as another player that a change of scenery does something different for you. Same thing with Matthew Stafford. I mean, it's like they swapped quarterbacks, but Matthew went on to win his ring with the Rams, and Jared went over to Detroit and kind of put them in a good position to win. They actually should have won that game against the 49ers, but their coach stopped running the ball. So I always liked Goff. I always thought he was a good quarterback. So I think they need to give him more credit than what he gets, because even now you barely even see him on the top 10 or a top 5 list as a quarterback. I'm like, what are y'all doing? Like, why isn't he there? He should be there at least in the top 10.
I think that's because they more respect the OCs that's associated with Jared Goff. One would be Sean McVay, and the other would be I have trouble saying his name. I think it's Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Brady. Matt. No, it's fucking the offensive coordinator for the Lions is, I want to say, it's Joe Brady or something like that.
No, Joe Brady. Joe Brady's in Buffalo.
The Bills.
Josh
Buffalo.
Allen. His name is Jim Bob Cooter. It's like that.
It's
bro. It's Bob Cooter, yo, bro. I'm trying to tell you, he's been there the last 3 years, bro.
Bro, you just told me Andy Reid was the quarterback during the Super Team. I mean, Chip Kelly was the coach
I could
during
have been.
Chip Kelly, and it was
I
Andy
could have been
Reid.
wrong with that because Chip Kelly got rid of all the guys that was part of the super team. So I could have been wrong.
I'm sorry, their offensive coordinator is Ben Johnson.
Right.
You're right.
I knew it
That's
was. I
somebody
knew it
else.
was.
It's
I
Ben
thought it was.
Johnson. No, you're right. You're right. It's Ben Johnson. It's not Bob Coop. Ben Johnson's been there, and he was offered a head coaching job, and he denied it twice. I guess he denied it twice or whatever, and decided to stay with
Yeah,
Jared Goff.
he denied the commander's
He
job.
denied the commander's job because of the
Yeah,
amount of money he wanted.
yeah.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. He's associated with the coordinators that he has. If you look at the Detroit Lions, they have maybe because our boy's gone, Jason Kelsey.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the Detroit Lions have the best offensive line in football. I believe they got Zeitler at right guard from the Ravens this year. So they're dominant. They have two great running backs. Jamison Williams was a highly, respected prospect coming to the NFL. We know what Amon-Ra St. Brown is. We don't have to spend too much time on that. Sam Laporta, hell of like that tight end, and then you got a culture builder and their head coach. So I think people look at the Detroit Lions and think they win because of their head coach and their team and not Jared Goff. Same thing as in the LA Rams.
Wow. I
Because
just
when it
wanted
was
for the
time
people like that. They wasn't winning.
but he
Y'all
wasn't
wasn't
there
winning.
either. He wasn't there either.
They ain't
And
never been to the championship. They had Megatron.
listen, y'all forget. Yeah, they had Matthew Stafford and Megatron, but they didn't have other pieces to go with that. They didn't have no other pieces. But when they traded Matthew Stafford, they got multiple first round picks. They got multiple picks for that.
Okay.
Yeah, but you can't say that they're winning because of the coach, and you can't give the player the credit
Like
because
when we ever did that.
the coach is
You
not
said,
on the
"Will we ever do
field.
that?"
The coach is not on the field playing. Now, the coach might be a good coach to help coach up your skills, help put you in a position with play calling, help put you in a better position as far as mechanics, things like that. But the I always say coaches coach, players play.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, regardless of what, Goff is the one out there in that most important position of the team is which is the quarterback. If your quarterback can't play ball, your team is going to suffer. I don't care what wide receivers you got. I don't care what running back you got. If your quarterback can't get out there and do their job, I don't care about the coach on the sideline with the clipboard telling you in your ear in the huddle what play to go. The,
Facts.
it got to be executed, and it got to be executed on the field by your quarterback and by the players. So I don't buy giving the coaches giving them all the credit over the player because the player's the one that got to make it happen.
I only give a little bit of argument because I'm gonna believe in Sean McVay when he sit there and says that I can't win with you, and he goes and replaces you with another quarterback and wins one, and you still have not won one. Yes, Detroit has changed the optics of Jared Goff has changed the optics of Detroit. But we cannot forget one of the best offensive minds in football said, I can't win with you. You're not good enough.
Well, he must not be the best mind
Right.
because Jared Goff won it. So
When
why
has
can Ben? So
but
why
let
can
me
they
ask you a
win
question.
and he
Let
didn't?
me ask you a question. Has Detroit won? They haven't won nothing. Let's get that straight. They're a playoff team. They've been to
They
one.
won. They
They've
didn't
been
win
to
a
one,
ring.
bro. They've been to one playoffs and they made it to the NFC Championship game. But did they go there on the hymns of him? They made it. They didn't go because of him. They didn't go because he led that team. And every time they needed to play, he was the one making that play. Was it not the defense making plays? Was it not the running game? Because when I think about Detroit, I think of them as a run first team.
I get what you're saying, but even with Matthew Stafford, let's keep it 100. Even in this Super Bowl game, and we're gonna keep it G. Let's keep it a G. if Matthew Stafford didn't have the defense,
No,
Aaron
you're right.
Aaron Donald in Pacific name, Aaron Donald.
Yeah, you're right.
Aaron Donald was the game changer for the Super Bowl game.
No dispute. But you can't go back in that playoff run and not say that Matthew Stafford didn't make plays as he did in that Super Bowl. He threw multiple touchdowns in that Super Bowl.
Oh,
but why don't you give Sean McVay all that credit though?
You can't get that
because you just gave Sean McVay credit for Jared Goff going. Why don't you give Sean McVay credit for over what you call it?
You know why I give Matthew Stafford credit? Because I watched a guy like Kenny Galladay be 1,000-yard receiver with Matthew Stafford, gets away from Matthew Stafford and goes to New York Giants, and he's out the NFL. I've watched him just create a receiver out of nowhere in Puka Nacua. I've just watched him win a game with nobody's at receiver. No Cooper Kupp, no Puka Nacua. This guy that he just made out of nowhere. Cooper Kupp was a good receiver before he got to him. But I will say that every receiver outside of Allen Robinson then got with Matthew Stafford, they have had their best year in the NFL. He's one of the best throwers of the football in the NFL.
That's not deniable. But he wasn't winning shit in Detroit.
Nope.
Yeah, but
he didn't know how to win.
Also put a point.
He can have all the talent in the world, but if you can't win, why does that matter?
No, listen. I also believe in Detroit. They were always good enough where they didn't get viable assets, real assets in Detroit.
No, I can't say that. They had
when as he was the quarterback, were they a top 3 pick in the draft?
I mean, that's because he got hurt a lot.
No,
Megatron got hurt a lot.
I'm just
and
saying.
Then they had niggas like Ndamukong Suh and all them.
Let's
Come on, bro.
Let's talk about the GM. The GM is making great decisions in the front office. I'm not saying Jared Goff's not a good quarterback. I'm just saying,
taking a lot of credit away from him, but giving credit to
I don't put Jared Goff in that upper echelon class of quarterbacks. I don't put him in there with Patrick Mahomes. I don't put him in there with Josh Allen. I don't put him in there with Joe Burrow, Aaron Rodgers, not even Dak Prescott.
Because you judging them.
He belongs in that
how you can't put him there with Josh Allen, and you just said that Josh Allen ain't never went to a AFC.
I don't think Josh Allen has ever had a team as good as the Detroit Lions. This is
Josh Allen. Josh Allen is selfish. He's a selfish player.
I'm gonna ask you a question. Who was Josh Allen's best running back that he's ever played with?
James Cook right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's a second-year player that was last year 180 pounds. He was a little running back.
He didn't have to have that because he has Diggs. He had a receiver.
No, but I'm asking you a question. He had a running back that could not run between the tackles that you're going to say is his best running back. This would be his first year with that running back that could actually run between the tackles.
Didn't they have LaShawn McCoy at that time?
No, he didn't play with LaShawn McCoy. LaShawn McCoy went to Kansas City.
Was that after?
Yes, that was
okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, he's never played with an elite running back. A running back that could. To me personally, he hasn't played with a good running back. He's played with average running backs since he's been in the league.
Okay, but I'll say fine, done. You still cannot take Jared Goff's credit.
No, I'm not taking his credit. I'm just saying he's a good quarterback. He's not a top 10 quarterback. He's not better than Herbert and Chargers.
How you gonna say that? And Herbert,
that's crazy. That's crazy. We need to move on. We need to move on. We need to
move on. Wait a minute.
I don't think
you bugging.
Listen, another quarterback he's not better than? And this is the quarterback that they have the same skill set. Brock Purdy. He's not better than Brock Purdy.
I'm gonna have to see what you're drinking.
Tito's
You're
today.
bugging. You're bugging.
I figured it had to be something because this can't be right.
Yeah.
No, I don't. So y'all think he's better than Brock Purdy?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
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 He's better than Brock Purdy.
You gave all that credit to Sean McVay. You need to all give all that credit to Kyle Shanahan.
All right, listen. Y'all didn't hear how I started that. I said they are the same quarterback, but I like Brock Purdy more because I've watched Brock Purdy go in there and
Who the same
actually,
quarterback?
huh?
Who the same quarterback?
Brock and Jared, they're the same quarterback.
No,
Yo,
not at all.
Brock Purdy, Dak,
he's
listen.
off the leash
Brock
right now.
Purdy, Dak Prescott, and Jared Goff are all the same guy. I just like one better than the other.
Nah,
Yeah,
nah.
nah.
I know you're not gonna agree with
I
me
ain't
when it's
feeling you.
Dak. I know this.
No. It's not even about that. It's Jared. We're talking about golf.
Yo, you know another one? I got a fourth one that's all in the same conversation. His name's Captain Kirk. They're all the same guy. I feel like you put Kirk Cousins with Kyle Shanahan, he'll be doing what Brock Purdy's doing.
Whoa, come
Wow.
on, bro. Hey, yo, listen. They talk a
Don't
lot of
drain them
trash
all. Let's
about
go
Kirk
to another
Cousins.
one.
Hey, listen. So, as
Yeah.
the people don't know,
Don't call us when you drinking Tito's no more.
hey, yo, as the people know, this is an Eagle show. And we're going to pass it over to Mikey T to break down the Eagles versus Tampa Bay massacre.
Yo, I don't know. Like after that ass whooping, I want to wear a fucking bag over my head. So I really gotta be honest about my team. This game started out just awkwardly, so it just went so left. So, they got the ball first. They just went up, down, up the field with no issue, no stop from the defense. The defensive line is just not getting no push. They're doing nothing out here. And then Isaiah Rodgers pushes the Bucks player into Cooper DeJean, and it hits his stomach or whatever, hits his leg or something, and they call it a fumble. Way to start the game. Then Dallas Goedert misses the catch. Jalen Hurts over. All right, I'm just not be so long-winded. At the end of the day, this offense does not look like it's connecting at all. I'm not sold on this quarterback right now. I'm just gonna be honest. So Jalen Hurts is missing a lot of passes. Sometimes I feel like the play calling is just very lackluster. I just feel like he's not finding ways for people to get open if their name is not AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, or Saquon Barkley. And that irritates me so much because in that game, we didn't throw a pass to a wide receiver until the second quarter at 9 minutes and 36 seconds. And that was like a 4-yard pass to Jahan Dotson. And I don't even think he caught the ball, but whatever. Matter of fact, it was almost intercepted. I really don't know what this team is. I mean, on paper, this team should be one of the best teams in the league, but the way they're playing, I feel like we're tapping out on the coach at this point. After Jalen had that press conference and they kind of asked him like, "Yo, how do you and Nick Sirianni prepare the team?" And he said, "I mean, we have our ways." Or he said something like that, and it just kind of really for the first time made me look at Nick Sirianni like, wait, I don't think him and Jalen Hurts are connecting. I also do got a problem with Vic Fangio. Like Vic Fangio, Bryce Huff was a 10-sack guy before he came over to the Eagles. Now that you got him playing this outside linebacker and this 3-4 scheme, I just you can just see it doesn't feel comfortable for him because nowhere in any football do you see a D lineman like Bryce Huff get fucking stopped by a fucking tight end. He's getting blocked by tight ends. He's not getting no push. I hope we go into this bye week with some changes that's need to be made. From what I'm hearing, Nick Sirianni is calling some plays at at moments. I'm not even sold on Kellen Moore all the way. I don't know. What did you feel from the game?
I had a problem with adjustments defensively. Like point blank, what I seen, they were all bubble screens, slants. It was a lot of 1-2, boom, ball out the hand. Nobody never came up. I got a problem with just like acknowledge, like you as a coach acknowledging like they're killing us this way. They've done it 2 drives in a row. We need to change something. Like right now. Didn't happen. I ain't gonna lie. Vic Fangio last 2 stops, he wasn't great in Miami. I had a little like, oh, Vic's a good coach. He'll be good in Philly. Obviously, he's been a fucking train wreck. He's had 1 good game, and that's because the Saints was incomparable when they played against us. Like they didn't take advantage of obviously what Tampa Bay seen on tape. This is the 3rd time in a row that we've got 3 out of the last 4 games against Tampa Bay we've gotten out coached. Todd Bowles is killing us. Like he's like I don't even want to use the language that I want to use, but he's killing us like coaching wise. And before me, I said coming this season, I'm blaming Jalen. I'm not blaming Nick. Like Jalen needs to go over Nick. I don't think Nick's the problem. After last week, Nick's the problem, and he got to go.
Well, hold on.
I'm waiting to back up off Jalen and putting full responsibility on Nick.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm starting to believe that he's part of the problem of Jalen's regression, which I have a problem with Jalen's turnover problem. And I think it all comes back to our head coach.
Yeah. Also, we do got to put some emphasis on the players, right? Because that game, there was a total of 20 missed tackles.
Yeah, but that's deep. That's execution. That's the identity of your head coach.
But that's
your
players.
Coordinator.
Players got to play.
Also, we can't do that because they didn't even have an executed game plan. Your top 2 perimeter weapons are out the game, and you're not even coming into this game with the mindset of we're running it down their throat. We're not running. Jalen Hurts is getting 15 carries this game. Saquon Barkley's getting 20 to 25 carries this game. Gainwell's going to get 10 carries this game. They didn't even have that as a thought process of how they were going to attack Tampa Bay. So when you look back on it like that, coaching has to be the problem. They have the Philadelphia Eagles have no identity defensively nor offensively. I don't give a fuck when nobody says Christian McCaffrey is the most accomplished back in the league. Saquon Barkley is the best running back in the NFL. There's nothing that he can't do that any other running back in the league can do. There's not one. You can't name a running back that has more talent than Saquon Barkley. And then he has a pedestrian first half like that because you don't want to get him the ball. And your excuse is that we had a fumble, we went 3 and out, we did this, we did that. No. The first play of your offensive drive is here. I'm giving it to Saquon Barkley. Jalen and Saquon should have been in so many design and so many read options and design runs to start that game into bubble screens and stuff like that whole type of thing. That should have been the game plan. I don't know what they had going on, but obviously running the ball was not their priority.
I mean, the first 9 plays of the game was all pass plays.
That should tell the story.
And that was 3 and outs each time.
That should tell the story, brother. Like that is a major problem. And it's sad that we can't make this move now today because I don't think it helps. I think it only hurts us because you can't set a culture in the middle of the season. But this is the perfect time to hire Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick don't know how to find offensive weapons, but he damn sure knows how to set a culture, what the Philadelphia Eagles need. The problem is, as each year goes on, salary cap gets higher for players, harder to move contracts away. This year is built to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
We won't know to the end of the year of what we're really going to lose to next year. And I don't know if we got time to wait till next year.
We definitely don't got time to wait till next year. It's win or everybody's getting fired.
I don't think our GM needs to get fired.
I mean, no. Howie Roseman is the only safe man on this team.
Because I think he's done everything outside of Hassan Reddick for Bryce Huff. But I believe they had an idea of bringing Vic Fangio in and going 3-4. Bryce Huff is a 3-4 player. And I think they felt like, that was better for them than what Hassan Reddick did. Because I think Hassan Reddick played in this type of style of defense in Arizona, was not as productive as he was in Philly. So they went away from it. And Hassan Reddick was going to be more money than Bryce Huff, which is another reason why I think they made the decision they made. I'm not going to kill him about that decision. I'm not going to kill him about Jordan Davis. Yeah, he should have took Kyle Hamilton over Jordan Davis because we needed safety too. We take a defensive lineman every year. We've been doing it so long. We've been doing it since Derek Barnett. Every year, it seems like we're taking a defensive lineman in the first round. But I'm not going to kill Howie because outside of the draft, he also took J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf, which is one of the how many people took players over DK Metcalf?
I mean, we ain't the only ones that took players over DK
that's what I'm saying. But he's missed in the draft, but he still built a team that was comparable of winning a Super Bowl. I mean, look, he had our future quarterback right there when we had Carson Wentz under deal. I'm not going to kill him about this. I'm more locked into coaching. I'm ready for this whole coaching staff to be gone. I wish it was the offseason because I'd be like, fire them all today. But you can't do that in the middle of the season because we still have a chance. But with this team, I don't think we got no direction at all.
Yeah.
I don't think we have no stability. I don't think we even have an identity as a team.
Yeah.
And it lets me know how much Shane Steichen and Jonathan Gannon meant to the Philadelphia Eagles of why we were so successful. Because Nick ain't nothing but a loudmouth person.
I ain't gonna say that. First of all, I like Nick, but I just feel like the team might be tapped out on Nick.
I like Nick personality.
I love Nick's personality.
When you're the head coach and you're not the forefront of your culture and you're not the one that guys believe in, they look at you like a peer. They're not gonna play. They're not gonna
say that. I'm not gonna say that. You know what changes all that? Winning. So when you winning, everybody's tapped in. Everybody, because Nick's been the coach for 4 years. So
because our next topic, because we got Nikki on today, I'm gonna we're gonna switch over to Dallas. Mike would do better with our roster than he does with Dallas.
No, he wouldn't.
Who would do better? Mike McCarthy. No, he wouldn't.
No, he would. You know, because you know what he would do? He'd give Saquon the fucking ball.
He don't give the. He
don't.
He get the ball now. What are you talking about? Him and Kellen Moore, they're the same person.
Exactly.
Time out. Who is he giving the ball to right now?
And that's the reason why we were glad Kellen Moore was gone. We told you Kellen Moore was trash.
He tried to do it with Pollard last year. Pollard couldn't handle it last year.
Pollard wasn't an every down back.
Yeah, but he tried to do that with Pollard last year, so I'm not going to.
That's like us trying to make Kenneth Gainwell every down back.
Listen to me. Jerry Jones thought Pollard was an every down back. Mike McCarthy didn't make the decision. Jerry Jones made that decision. Jerry Jones makes all personnel. The Joneses make all personnel decisions in Dallas, not Mike McCarthy. Mike McCarthy coaches the team. You don't think that's what's going on? I hope. I don't know. She'll know better than me because she's more formidable with Dallas stuff than we would ever be. But in my opinion, I feel like the Joneses make personnel decisions and Mike McCarthy coaches the team. They felt like Pollard was productive and they thought he could be an every down back. As we all seen, he wasn't. Mike still tried to get him the ball and make him an every down back, and it didn't work. I feel like if he had Saquon Barkley would be touching the ball before anybody else on the team touched the ball, especially when A.J. Brown is not playing. He would get the first carry of the game. And that's all I'm saying.
Mike McCarthy makes stupid decisions at the wrong moments. I think it's not about him. It's not even about him not running the ball. It's about him. It's about management. Same thing with my man Dan Campbell. And I say this ain't shit about the coaching Baltimore, John Harbaugh, Jim Harbaugh.
John Harbaugh. Yeah, I'm about to get
I say the same about all three of them. They all are terrible at game management. I think that's what makes them bad coaches. And for some reason, Nick is becoming a bad game manager this year.
Mm-hmm.
He's never a bad
game manager for 2 years.
No, he's not. Because last year we were. Hold on,
we went 1-5 in 6 games. Stop it.
That wasn't his fault.
It is his fault. He's the head coach.
Bro, the defense was trash. Offense was trash.
Listen, I'm gonna say this: when you're the head coach.
And I lost my 2 coordinators. I lost my number 2 coordinator. So now I had to go to the backup, some niggas that I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. I fired a coordinator. I had to fire a coordinator last year for a reason.
Yeah.
At the
He
end of
don't
the day,
coach
as a
defense.
head coach is brung in to govern the whole team. You're not just the offensive coach, especially if you're not like, at least like Andy Reid. I'm calling the fucking plays. Sean McVay, I'm calling the plays.
He don't call
Kyle
no defensive
Shanahan,
plays.
Nick does not call no plays. And listen.
And I just said that. So neither one of them called defensive plays. The defense was trash last year.
Hold on. I'm trying to get somewhere with this. If you're not bare minimum as an offensive coach managing the offense, god damn, like you got to manage something. And if you can't go over to your defensive coordinator and tell him, I see this, you need to fix this right now.
Okay.
That's a problem.
Let me say this. We were also 32nd in defense, right? So we were giving up the most air yards. We were giving up the most rushing yards. And our offense was in the top 15. That's not his fault.
Bro, I don't. That team fell apart last year. Completely.
It did. It definitely did.
They lost to the Giants, and they lost to some other bad teams last year. The team fell apart, bro. They scored 6 points in a playoff game, bro. Let's not make excuses. I don't care that AJ Brown didn't play, bro. They scored 6 points.
I mean,
and what you don't talk about, reported wise, that came outside of Philadelphia, Brian Johnson was never calling plays. It was Nick.
Nick took his job in the middle of the season.
Yes, because somebody had to fall on the sword.
I mean, let's keep it honest. If I'm a coach and I might get fired, I'm gonna get fired from my own play call.
It was reported that Nick was the one calling the plays, bro. It came out of Philadelphia. I know you heard the same story I heard because we both watched Philadelphia news.
Yeah, they said Nick took over some play calling.
Yeah, they keep saying there's some play calling. Like they keep doing the some.
They say
you're calling plays right now. You're not. Just like in Kansas City. They didn't want to give no credit to what was my boy name? Bieniemy.
Fact.
Andy Reid calls the plays. They didn't ever say Andy Reid calls some plays. He calls the plays. They go to LA Rams. They don't say Sean McVay calls some plays. You go to the Green Bay Packers. What's our guy name? LaFleur. He calls some plays.
Do you feel like a coach is only good if they call plays?
You said, do I? If you can manage the game and manage both sides of the ball, like for instance, like Bill Belichick, I know he ain't worth the shit on offense. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't even know how to pick an offensive coach with how New England fell apart. He didn't progress with the game. But guess what I know what I get when I get Bill Belichick? I know defensively we're gonna be solid.
I'm talking about don't call plays at all.
Huh?
Do you feel like a coach can be good that don't call plays at all?
Name me a good coach that's good that don't call plays and that can manage the game. Because I want to throw that in there too. Because there is a coach that won a Super Bowl that doesn't call plays. I know one.
I know a couple.
No, I know one. Name another.
I know you know one because he's the coach of the Ravens.
Yeah.
Doesn't coach.
He sucks at game management though. His game management sucks. He has a losing record the last 3 years. In games he had the lead going into the fourth quarter. He has the worst record in the NFL. They don't talk about that though. But let's go. Give me a coach.
Hold on.
Don't know. We don't need to Google.
I gotta look up what Super Bowl teams. I'm sorry. Hold on. Give me.
It don't gotta be a Super Bowl. Give me a team that's winning consistently in the NFL every year.
Dan Campbell.
Dan Campbell, culture builder. Dan
Campbell's not Houston.
Culture builder. And yes, does he make bad plays and game decisions? Like sometimes does he make bad plays? I don't think he's as horrific as John Harbaugh. He doesn't blow his team. His team is not known for blowing as much leads as Baltimore Ravens blow.
That's cap. They just blew the lead last year.
You're talking about one game. You're talking about one game against.
But there's multiple games where they've done that though.
But listen,
even the year before when they could have made the playoffs, he did the same shit.
So look at the record. Look at the record of the Ravens and the Lions when they have a multiple score lead and lose it in the fourth quarter. Detroit's not close to the Ravens. I'm telling you this.
All right.
They're not close.
I ain't gonna lie.
And Detroit has not been winning as long as the Ravens been winning. So I'm telling you this, man. I'm like they are a 1 year playoff team. This man took this team from the bottom to the top. John Harbaugh walked into a team that had Super Bowl caliber players already there, ready to win.
Yeah, he walked into Ray Lewis and Ed fucking Reed.
And Terrell Suggs, he walked into that, bro. All Joe Flacco had to do is not turn the ball over. But we're off topic. All I'm saying is I'm past the Nick experience because of Tampa Bay. I gave us a benefit of doubt when we lost to Atlanta by a touchdown. That's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, shit happens. I blame Jalen. You know I blame Jalen because I get on Jalen week in and week out about turnovers. I have a problem with turnovers. At some point, you have to take care of the ball, bro. But we go to the Saints. We win the game. I still blame Jalen because I'm like, bro, we could have been better. Took the blame from Nick, even though you made a dumb call not to kick 3. Saints couldn't score on us. Why are you not taking the points? I understood it because I'm like, these boys have scored 40 in a row. We got to score 7, not 3. So I gave Nick another pass. But to go into Tampa Bay, a team that just got destroyed by Denver, and we get blown out.
Denver got a better defense.
I'm not disputing that part, but I'm disputing the part of we should, regardless of AJ Brown, Devontae Smith not playing, because if you look at the game, we lost because of missed tackles and poor execution on offense. And not adjusting and coming up and making them guys make one-on-one plays. We got destroyed in Tampa Bay. And my whole thing is like this. It's a coaching problem for me, and I'm done with Nick. I'm done with Vic. I'm done with Kellen Moore. They all can go to hell. At this point, I don't even care if we hire the equipment director to run the football team the rest of the year because I feel better. I feel better if we lose. I don't belong. I would feel like he don't belong in the position that he's in.
Fact. All right, yo, we gotta move on, bro, because I got here. I'm gonna get my daughter, buddy.
You want to talk about the Cowboys because we know things ain't been. Y'all been in the same situation, kind of like starting the season 2-2. How do you feel about your Cowboys?
I'm at a state of mind. Shit, we just need to wrap this season up.
Yeah.
Just wrap it up.
You don't think things can turn out different as the season progresses?
I mean, anything is possible. Anything is possible, but at the end of the day, like with the things that we have going on, not only on the field, on the sideline, locker room, you got your damn owner landing helicopters in the middle of practice. What are we doing? I just think the focus, the culture in Dallas has to change, and it has to start at the top. And as long as we have who we have in the front office, that's not going to happen. We have poor leadership, because everything starts at the top and then it just trickles down. And that's the problem. You have no one being accountable. There's no accountability. We're a very undisciplined team. We get penalties after penalties on both sides of the ball over and over again. We never start off a game with any type. We wait till the fourth quarter to show up. We wait till the fourth quarter to play. We wait till the fourth quarter to do everything because you have no one showing you are doing better, showing you better. I never was a fan of bringing Mike Zimmer in because for me, his defenses have always been at the bottom. I mean, the only one good thing about his defenses at one point in time was that he did focus his defenses on stopping the run. But hell, you can't even do that. We're not even doing that.
Yeah.
But as personnel, at the same time, you have to start looking at, do I not have the right personnel here to do these things that I want to do with these schemes? That's what you have to look at. We told y'all Kellen Moore was who he was. That's why we
You
always
said it. You said it.
for him to go.
You said you called it. All right. So every week we get into a place that we talking about the next week. So we start with power rankings, MVP. This week we have started the first week of the offensive player of the year, and we get into most anticipated games. So we're gonna start off with our offensive player of the year. At I'm gonna say the first one. My at number 5 this year, I am going with Justin Jefferson with 20 catches, 359 yards, and 4 touchdowns as my number 5 player in ranking for the offensive player of the year.
That's your number 5.
Yeah, that's number 5.
All right. I put Derrick Henry at my number 5.
Derrick Henry
rushing right now.
Yeah. He has
He got
480 yards, 5 touchdowns rushing, 5 yards receiving, and 45 yards. 5 catches, 45 yards receiving, and a touchdown. So he has 6 touchdowns on the season. Not a bad guy to have in your top 5. At number 4, I have Saquon Barkley at 435 yards rushing, 4 TDs, 12 catches for 85 yards, and a touchdown.
Okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go with that.
I'm put a young guy. I put Malik Neighbors in my top 5.
Wow, that's big time. I don't have Malik numbers down.
Malik got 386 yards, 35 catches, 3 touchdowns. Hey, he's a rookie. He's having.
He's killing. He's killing.
He's killing to be a rookie. I mean, he's the only thing over there in the Giants right now.
I mean, listen. We were starting offense. Just a heads up, we're starting offensive rookies of the year next week, and Malik Neighbors would obviously be at the top of that list. We're not going to talk about the other person right now, but number 3, I have Nico Collins, 30 catches, 489 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, I could see that.
Okay, I put Saquon Barkley as my number 3.
Okay, as which we said, he has over 500 yards and 5 touchdowns this year.
Mm-hmm.
As my number 2, I have Derrick Henry with 480 yards, 5 touchdowns, 5 catches, and 45 yards and a touchdown. Why? Because this guy had a 200-yard production-wide day. This is why he's my number 2 in back-to-back crazy weeks.
Okay. Well, your number 5 is my number 2, and that's Justin Jefferson.
Okay.
Balling this year.
Okay, that's not bad. I got Justin Jefferson at 20 catches, 359 yards, and 4 touchdowns.
Okay. So who your number 1?
Alvin Kamara with 362 rushing yards, 5 touchdowns, 17 catches for 174 yards and a touchdown. He has 6 TDs on the year.
I ain't gonna lie. I've been screaming this man name all year. My number 1 is Nico Collins, bro. Nico Collins.
Oh my God. No Kamara on your list?
No Kamara. He my 6, but I ain't gonna lie. I did that. Yeah, I should have put Kamara on my list, but whatever. I should have put Kamara.
I'm gonna give, because you brought up Justin Jefferson. Why Justin Jefferson wasn't higher on my list is because of Aaron Jones. Aaron Jones has 321 yards rushing and a touchdown, 16 catches for 143 yards and a touchdown. He was my number 6, my honorable mention for the top 5 offensive players of the year. Is why Justin Jefferson wasn't, because I believe Aaron Jones opens the team up for why Sam Darnold was so successful, and why Justin Jefferson is killing it this year. That's why he wasn't that high on my list. Justin Jefferson is killing it. Not gonna take that from him.
I could go with that.
All right, we're about to get to our MVP of the MVPs of the year. I'm gonna start at number 5, Mr. CJ Stroud. 1,054 yards passing this year, 6 TDs, 2 touchdowns, and 41 yards rushing. Has every win been perfect in the way we thought it would look? But he's been playing good football, and he's been getting his team to wins against teams he should win. His defense should be playing better, in my opinion.
Oh, okay. Um, all right. I'm gonna go. This is a new buy on my list. I'm putting Geno Smith on my list as my number 5. Geno
Wow.
Smith has playing good football for 2 years in a row, bro. This just really my number 5 is really
Is
just to
it
give a
3
shout out
years?
to Geno.
Is it 3 years, Geno?
Two or three.
It's 3. 3 years since he's been the starting quarterback.
Geno has been balling since he got to the Seattle, so this is really just to show a little love and respect to Geno Smith. Yo, Geno Smith has been balling with the Seattle, so I want to give a shout out to Geno Smith. So he's my number 5.
My number 4 is a guy that met my list for the first week last week, Jaden Daniels. 897 yards passing, 3 TDs, 1 pick, 218 yards rushing, 4 TDs. The guy has changed the Washington Commanders as we know. And we expect nothing from big things. Why? They're going to be the favorite going multiple weeks going forward. I'm big on Jaden Daniels. So I like watching some of him.
He comes from LSU.
Huh?
You know I love him, man. That's my LSU quarterback.
Yeah. I'm loving Jaden Daniels. That's my number 4.
I actually got him as my number 2.
Oh, that's high.
I'm gonna lie. You took mine because I put Jaden Daniels on my list this week. After these two amazing games like that, I gotta put Jaden Daniels on my list. So shout out to Jaden Daniels.
Number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
It's crazy because we do a lot of the same things on our list.
For sure.
I wonder if we're in the same place this next pick. I don't think we are.
I don't think so.
But I think he's both on our list.
Yeah.
Mr. Sam Darnold, 932 yards passing, 11 TDs, 3 picks, 50 yards rushing. And let me make the why he's not at the top of my list because he deserves that type of credit. But I think I start with Brian Flores defensively. I think he should never have been fired as the Miami head coach.
Fact.
Because of what he said about Tua. Did Mike McDaniel take Tua to another level with Tyreek Hill? Yes. Mike McDaniel hasn't showed us Tua is capable of winning a Super Bowl. He hasn't showed us that. And Brian Flores said he's not a quarterback I can win with. So I'm not killing Brian for that. The guy knows how to coach defense. Miami was a tough team when he was there. I'm not killing Brian Flores for that comment that he made and made Tua uncomfortable. But he saw something in that room where he thought he couldn't win. Because I believe that he's saying I can coach against him and stop him from winning. And that's why I think he made the decisions that he made with Tua.
Facts.
And I didn't mention my 2 guys that were between 3 and 6 on the honorable mention for Offensive Player of the Year, Justin Jefferson and Aaron Jones. Why Sam Darnold is not at the top of my list.
Okay. So what are we on, 3?
Yeah.
My number 3, Josh Allen.
Not a bad pick. Josh Allen this year has 814 yards, 7 TDs, no picks, 106 yards rushing, and 2 TDs. So he's accounted for 9 TDs and 2 fumbles.
Good year for Josh Allen.
Yes, great year for Josh Allen. He's actually my second pick for MVP race. I think Josh Allen has been killing it this year. I said nobody can get in the way of Josh Allen but Josh Allen, regardless if they lose. It's not because of him. It's because somebody else messed up. So I like Josh Allen at 2, but it's a reason Josh Allen is 2 and not 1 this week because he got outplayed. He got outgunned by a guy from Baltimore that plays in Baltimore named Lamar Jackson, who has 850 yards passing, 5 touchdowns, 1 pick, 308 yards rushing, and 2 touchdowns. He has been the reason the Ravens have been in the game every week. He's the reasons why I believe the Ravens are, regardless of record, a top contender in the league. And I think he's the second best quarterback in the league.
Okay. I put CJ Stroud at my number 2.
No, we're number 1. No,
taking
when the
over Josh Allen. Why? Just because Josh Allen lost this week.
oh, I skipped you. That's right. Yeah. So
And oh, you
sorry.
skipped me, so whatever. And then I got Sam Darnold as my number one.
And I feel see for my number one I have Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield is your MVP of the league. You don't
Playing
think
lights out.
he playing
I mean,
lights
he
out?
is though. I can't lie, he is.
Yeah, I mean he's had an egg of a game, but I believe that's in the weapons that he has. But I'm not mad at that because if I had to do a top 10, Baker Mayfield would be in it. Is MVP wise? Because let's be real, MVP is a quarterback position unless you have a record-breaking season as a skill player. That means as a receiver, you have to have over 2,000 yards receiving. As a running back, you need to be touching over 2,500, almost going to 3,000 yards in scrimmage yards. So our next subject is we do our top 10 teams. Tamara, you can give us feedback if you don't like the way we have positioned these teams and if we miss somebody that should be in the top 10. My number 10, because so this team was my number 2 team last week, but they got beat so bad to me. And I haven't seen the quality win from them. I have a lot of second guesses about them. And can they beat regular teams? Yes, they'll beat them confidently. But when it comes to beating teams that have a chance to potentially compete for a Super Bowl, I don't think they have a chance. And that's the Buffalo Bills. I feel like they got exposed, and a lot of teams are going to take advantage of that are quality teams.
Putting Bills at the 10 is crazy, but okay.
Trey,
I put the
you're
I
number
put
10?
the I put the Ravens at 10.
Okay. My number 9 is the San Francisco 49ers because they had back-to-back losses. They have come back with a win, but it was against the Patriots.
Mm.
And I forgot who they beat week 1, but I've been disappointed in back-to-back losses to teams that they are supposedly posted. Well, we didn't think Minnesota's going to be as good as they were going to be, but I'm still waiting for a victory over a team that we believe to be a worthy opponent.
Facts. My number 9 is Seattle, playing great football right now. Geno Smith in my MVP conversation. I gotta give it up a shot at Seattle. But they 3-1 right now.
Yeah. My number 8 is the Pittsburgh Steelers. I've actually gained more faith in the Pittsburgh Steelers because of, even though it was a loss, I seen Justin Fields ball out. Yes, he had a bonehead play in the middle of the field with that fumble, but we go back to George Pickens not fumbling in the red zone. That's a tie game. The center throwing it over his head in the middle of the game because they were driving down the field. I was very impressed with Justin Fields, and I'm Mike Tomlin is 4-2, 4-1 or 4-2 against Lamar Jackson led teams. He has a better record against since Lamar's been in Baltimore with him not playing. So I'm just going off the Lamar scoreboard. He's 4-2 or 4-1, one of them. I'm scared for Lamar when it comes to that because Justin Fields is probably the best quarterback that Lamar is going to play against. That's been the Steelers quarterback. So go at 8 for
All
you.
right, my number 8 is actually Pittsburgh.
Oh, we're the same place.
Yeah, my number 8 was definitely Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Number 7, my boy.
The Washington Commanders. They have moved up even further on my list. Jaden Daniels, another win, 3 wins in a row. I'm actually getting impressed with that dominant win over the Cardinals. I will be a true believer if they have they can just win. If it's dominant, we got to have different discussions. But they beat the Browns this week. They put me in a whole different perspective on them, and they are definitely a playoff team to me.
For sure. So my number 7 is the Detroit Lions. I mean, they had an amazing win. What was that? Monday
Yeah.
versus Seattle. Beat the hell out of Seattle. Gotta put the Detroit Lions in there. I like Jared Goff.
That's not a bad pick. I actually got Detroit following up at 6.
Okay.
I've liked their resume so far. They had a loss. They probably a game going into. I thought they probably should have won, but outside of that game, I'm liking Detroit, and I have a different opinion of Tampa Bay when they lost the team that beat them because of the game, how they dominated Philly. So
I actually put Tampa Bay in my number 6.
that's not a bad
Tampa
pick.
Bay beat the hell out the Eagles, so gotta put y'all in the 6.
My number 5 is a team that you had the bottom at your list, which is the Baltimore Ravens.
Yo,
putting
the Ravens at 5 is crazy.
Yeah,
What?
It's crazy because I think this is a team that should be 3-1, not 2-2. They lost a game by an inch against
they lost.
Chiefs. Listen, let me get through it. Let me explain my shit. The Kansas City game, yes, I mean they lost, but I'm not really killing them for having a loss. The Kansas City, I'll blank it out in my mind. The Raiders is a horrible loss, and that's the only thing that I really look at. But I go back and I look at the dominant win against Dallas, where they dominated that game. And then you go into the very next game and you destroy the team that has my number 2 team in the NFL, a team that pretty much looked unstoppable in the NFL before today, even though I voiced reasoning and concern about quality of play. And I take it in terms that they're incorporating Derrick Henry more into their offense and learning how to play with him and how to utilize him. And Lamar's learning how to play off him. And they're getting that offense together. I take that into all accountability, which is why I have them at 5. Because I really think they're a top 3 team in the NFL.
You need to express your love for the Ravens right now, because there's no way. But number 5, man, I got the Washington Commanders, man. I mean, they playing great football right now. I feel like they caught that fire, something that you catch every now and then when you get a rookie quarterback. So you gotta give them number 5.
So you killed me for my opinion. Who did the Commanders beat that was a better opponent that the Ravens beat?
They didn't lose to the Raiders.
No, I said they didn't play the Raiders either.
I'm just saying who they beat? The Browns. No, wait, they didn't play the Browns. I'm sorry. Hold on, let me look at their games. I'm sorry.
They beat the Giants.
They beat Arizona. They beat the shit out of Arizona.
They beat the shit out of them.
They beat the Giants, a division game. And what was the third team they beat? Oh, Cincinnati. And who was the team they lost to? Did they lose the first week?
Nikki, who did they lose to for week 1?
They lost week 1. I think that was the last time they lost. It was week 1. Hold on, let me go.
Who?
The
Commanders.
Who did they lose to? Week 1?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Oh, they lost to the Bucks.
All right, I mean, when you go there, that's not a bad loss. And I should have probably gave that some play. That's not a bad loss, actually.
They lost to the Bucks.
But
and that first game of the season, playing Mike. I mean, what is? I keep calling playing Todd Bowles. I mean, Todd Bowles blitzed the
No. I'm with you on that. I probably would have had them higher on my list if I paid more attention to who they lost to and not just the loss, because I thought they had a bad loss, but they really didn't have.
They lost to the Bucks.
Yeah, they really didn't have a bad loss. But I'm gonna say this: they dominated Arizona, right?
Yeah.
And Buffalo beat Arizona.
And so did they. They beat them worse than Buffalo beat Arizona.
Yeah, because Buffalo came back.
Let's get here. Baltimore dominated Buffalo, and I think Buffalo is the better team, regardless of how you want to spend this. That's why I'm giving credit for my motherfucking number, my number 5 pick. Okay. And then I'm gonna get into my number 4 pick because you tried to kill me for that. Nikki's gonna give us a feedback of all the positions that she thought we made terrible takes at. Number 4 is Tampa Bay. You had them at number 5, I believe.
That's 6.
At 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, my number 4 is Tampa Bay. And my reasoning is for this is the Detroit win. I had Detroit at 6. Detroit would be higher on my list, but I can't rank a team above a team that lost to a team. So I believe Tampa Bay deserves their credit, even though they got a bad loss. But I feel like they have more quality wins than losses.
Okay. My number 4 is Buffalo. I mean, bad loss, so y'all come out of my top 2. But they still one of the best teams in the league. I still expect them to stay one of the best teams in the league. So they number 4.
Okay. My number 3 is a team that I don't even think you have on your list. It's the Houston Texans. Yes, they had a bad loss this year against the Minnesota Vikings, but they have found a way to win each and every game this year. CJ Stroud is leading the NFL in passing yards. I think Joe Mixon has a problem being hurt, which is hurting their offense productivity. So I'm going to go with that. I got Houston at 3.
Actually, my number 3 is Houston. So, I mean, you did my explaining.
Okay, you did your explaining. Yeah. We're right there. And it's crazy. Every time we get to the top 3, week in, week out, we line right up. My number 2, I don't know if we fall in the same line, but it's the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes, they found a way to win again this week against the LA Chargers. And usually Kansas City, as everybody knows, Tamara would know because we've done many shows on Kevin Dixon shows. We did a bunch of them shows. Patrick Mahomes is my favorite player in the NFL. I support him. Andy Reid is an ex-Philadelphia coach, so I'm always going to be behind Andy. I thought he was wrongfully fired in Philadelphia. He should never have been fired. He should have been given as many chances as a coach should get before getting fired because he took subpar competition and competed with it in Philadelphia. When I'm talking about at the quarterback play.
Okay.
Kansas City's been winning at the skin of their teeth to me and been getting out of games. I disagree with people earlier because I made a face at Tamara earlier when she talked about the Cincinnati game. That's pass interference. To me, that's pass interference because I play football. I play a little quarterback. I play a little receiver. When you're working to the ball and you're coming full speed, and that ball, like, it's a difference when you get a pass caught from a receiver from high school and a pass caught from an NFL player. Or is an elite college prospect that has the chance to start. That ball is coming so hard, it hurts your hands. I remember being in NFL HSPD camps and I forgot this guy's name. He never did nothing, but he was elite. He was an elite prospect going into college in our area. When this boy used to throw the ball and I used to have to catch it and throw it back to him, that shit used to make my hands vibrate. That shit hurt so bad. So just imagine that, working back to the ball, and before you even get to the ball, somebody that's 200 plus pounds hits you in the back. And you're going to, and remember, it never hits him in the hands. If it hits him in the hands, because I believe as a receiver, it touch your hands, you're supposed to catch it. It hit him in the face mask. So he couldn't locate the ball because he got hit in the back. And it was clearly he was early. People look at that play and look at it like, oh, he barely touched them. No, when you're coming full speed and that ball's coming that hard at you, it's hard to locate that ball because that ball's coming fast. Faster than you would like to believe. Like I said, I've never sat there and threw with no guy in the NFL that ever played in the NFL I've never caught a ball from. But I'm telling you, a guy that was supposed to be a high talent going into college, he ended up not doing nothing. When he used to throw the ball, when we was at them 8, because I did it 2 years with him, he used to be at it. He played for Arundel High School. My fucking hands used to vibrate. I started not catching the ball and let the ball drop to the ground. That's how fucking hard he threw that fucking ball.
Okay.
Pause.
All right. So I put Minnesota at my number 2. I mean, they playing one of the best teams in the league right now, so I gotta give them their respect.
Okay.
And they got an easy schedule, so
you said easy schedule?
They got an easy schedule this year.
Did you see who they beat?
Yeah, I seen who they beat. That's okay. That's the start off. They have an easy schedule the rest of the year.
Yeah, but how did they get to this easy schedule? Because they got another tough game this week.
The schedule is easy. What you mean? How did they get to it?
All right, so they beat Houston. They dominated Houston. They beat the Packers. Who else did they beat? They beat one more good quality team. They beat 3 good quality teams in a row.
I want to say they beat I was going to say 49ers, but I'm bugging.
No, they beat the 49ers. I said that, though.
No.
You did.
They beat
they beat the 49ers. They beat the Giants, the 49ers.
Giants, the 49ers, and Texans.
Yeah.
So they beat the 49ers, the Texans, and the Packers.
Listen to the rest of this.
Packers and Giants. I mean,
so, no, that's not. But listen, that does not. The rest of the schedule doesn't determine of who they are as a team. But in 3 weeks, they went back to back. They beat the 49ers first. Then they go into Houston and obliterate them. And then they dominated the Packers, which I still think to be a good team.
Those was 2 home games.
It doesn't matter if it's home or away. There are 3 quality teams in the NFL when they got 3 straight wins.
And I gave him number 2. What are you talking about? Gave him number 2.
I don't think they deserve that because I know who your number 1 is. I don't think number 1 deserves it over him, and I'm saying that is my favorite player who plays for them. But my number 1 is the Minnesota Vikings. I feel like team for team, they have played the best comp. They have beat the best teams, better teams than Kansas City Chiefs have. They have won their games more confidently, more dominantly than Kansas City. Kansas City, yes, they beat Baltimore. Everybody knows I have a high opinion and thought process about the Ravens. And I have to always say this because I go through this shit with people all the time that I'm an Eagles fan first. My team is playing horrible. Let's get to it. They're inconsistent. But yes, they beat the Ravens. They beat Cincinnati. I don't know how to feel about Cincinnati. Cincinnati has 1 win. And they played the Commanders and the Patriots. I don't know how to feel about that because those 2-team games they probably should have won. But they lost. Who's the third loss to? Who? Kansas City and who? Cincinnati.
The Chiefs? Oh. The Redskins. Oh, you already said the Redskins.
I said the Redskins and
the Patriots.
They lost to the Patriots. Who's the 2 teams? Who's the other team they lost to and beat?
They only beat the Panthers.
Yeah,
I mean that's not much at all.
The Commanders, they lost to the Chiefs, Commanders, and the Patriots. That's only 3 teams.
How am I supposed to feel confident about a team? That team. You understand what I'm saying? Like, I'm not confident, even though they played the Chiefs tough. They always play Chiefs tough. I feel like the defensive coordinator has a thing against Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. Like, he has them figured out, and each and every year they're going to play them tough. It doesn't matter when they play. I think that's going to be a tough game for Patrick Mahomes the rest of his career. If this defensive coordinator leaves Cincinnati, goes somewhere else, I think it's going to be a tough game for him. I think he just has them figured out of what they like to do. It's just, at this point, I'm sold. It doesn't tell me a story of Cincinnati beats Kansas City if Joe Burrow didn't throw for 500 yards. Because if he didn't throw for 500 yards, I'm going to look at it as like the defensive coordinator found a way. But Minnesota's my team because I feel like Houston, I'm very high on Houston this year, which I say week in and week out. I think C.J. Stroud's been higher on my MVP list. But because of that blowout, I lowered him down on my list.
Okay.
Because he had a non-productive week, which is why he's not higher. I thought going in preseason, he was my MVP of the year this year. Preseason MVP. Minnesota beat the 49ers, which Eagles and 49ers got the best roster in the NFL.
Yeah,
they don't have the best quarterback.
They didn't have Christian McCaffrey. They didn't have Deebo Samuel, George Kittle.
No, George Kittle played. George Kittle played. George Kittle.
When that the game he got hurt? Was that the game he got hurt?
But he played the game. He started the game. It's not their fault. It's not. You can't blame a win because they put the motherfucker out the game. That's their job. When you play football, your job is you got a pat on the back when you knock somebody out the game. I remember when I played for Sandtown Wolverines and we knocked the boy out from the Grand Falls 49ers and the medical field pulled up to the team to take him to the hospital. Our coach gave us slaps on the head, told us good job. That's how I was taught to play football.
So let me ask you: when we knocked Brock Purdy out the game, we
I
we
was
can't say
happy.
we won.
That was good. That was a great job. We knocked him out the game. He started the game. Defense did their job.
I'm just saying, when you say they win that game, you guys say that the 49ers
No, you
was
don't.
hurt.
No, no, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because you knocked him out the game. He didn't come in that game hurt and you just re-aggravated an injury. No, he came in
I
that
mean,
game
I get
healthy.
that.
No, he came in that game healthy and we put him out the game. That's the defense job, is to hurt you. Football has became some soft pudding cake game when it's supposed to be a rough physical game.
Right.
The defense job is to hurt somebody. That's how it used to be.
All right, let me just get to my number one. My number one is Kansas City. At the end of the day, let's just keep it a buck. You can't beat Kansas City in the fourth quarter pass interference call. That's facts. It's facts. They get it every game,
Every
no
game.
matter what. And you want to say quality wins? They got 3 quality wins. They beat the Ravens to start the year. They beat Cincinnati, who plays them tough every year, and they beat the Chargers, who are new looking Chargers with Jim or John, whoever. I don't know which hardball. They twins, but whatever. Those 3 quality wins to me, and I just feel like Patty's playing terrible right now to start
Yeah,
this year.
I disagree. That's good.
Patty's
That's a
playing.
good take. That's a great take. I don't disagree with you. Patty has not played great, and I told somebody the other day when he starts playing great,
It's
I
gonna be
mean,
a
I feel like
problem.
it's gonna be unbeatable.
And don't let him get Devontae Adams the way we was talking about earlier, and then it's really over. So I'm still putting him number one because Patty's not playing great, and they still finding ways to win.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't disagree with that, so I don't have a problem with your one. Do you have any problems with any of our top tens? Did you?
Nope.
Okay. All right, and as we always do, game of the weeks, games that I'll be looking to is Baltimore versus Cincinnati, which I think Baltimore should get a clear win. Washington versus the Browns. I feel like will be one of Jaden Daniels. It's a tough matchup for him. He should win, but I want to watch him play against a quality team. Even though the Browns don't have a lot of wins, I still think they are. If the Browns won this game, I wouldn't be surprised. And then finally, Buffalo versus Houston. We'll find out if the Bills are real or not.
Okay, those your games.
Yeah.
All right. Wait, where we at? Week 5. Okay. Week 5. Okay, so I am looking forward to definitely the Ravens versus the Bengals. You know, Joe Burrow versus Lamar Jackson again. Another game I'm looking forward to. I'm actually going to say the Texans and the Bills. I mean, that's going to be an amazing game, 3-1. Somebody got to lose that game, so somebody's going to come down to my power ranking after that. So, and then Eagles on vacation. I don't. Yeah, that's it for me. That's it for me.
Not bad games. I appreciate anybody that listened and made comments on Instagram. Thanks, Nikki, for
You're
joining.
welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
We definitely look forward to Nikki definitely making a lot of statements when we play the Cowboys, Philly versus the Dallas,
Yes.
and we plan on sometime in the future doing an NFC breakdown of the season.
Okay.
So
Facts.
Nikki definitely will be invited to that.
Facts, man. And y'all know y'all can find us on YouTube,
Oh,
Instagram.
congrats! One more thing. Congratulations! Don't you just got license for something, didn't you?
Yes.
You want to tell it? You want to tell the people?
Interview agent.
Yes, that's big time. So, black woman doing big things, man.
That's big, man. That's big.
Yeah, we got to. We got to start letting them give us our credit.
Absolutely.
So, man, y'all know we on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, whatever platform you can find me on. YouTube is M-PULSIVE TV, man. And we'll see y'all next Thursday, 7 o'clock, same time. And we out, man.
All right. Have a good night.
Y'all too.